Hola, hola, muy buenos dias, continuous liners. Muy buenos dias. Get yourself to church right now. That's what's happening. Hi, everyone. I'm chiming in live from the streets of San Miguel de Allende on this Monday, February 26th. Just in time to have a little cup of coffee and get myself to church. There it is. There's the big girl. The big girl right there. I am here in San Miguel de Allende. You know, when I was walking here to this cafe, I was thinking about, I always come back to San Miguel. And you know what? A lot of people have said that. Like, you leave this town. If you leave this town, somehow, some way, we come back. And I first came here, my first time was in 1999. That was the first time I came for 1999, the Semana Santa, which was a lot less crowded than what it is now. And I stayed up on Aldama. And I remember walking through the town going, wow. But I had no idea it was going to be such a big part of my life. I think I moved back here like in less than a year after my first visit. And I've been here and I spend time here. And then I come down with what they call San Miguelitis. Everyone gets it. It's not like COVID. Because what it forces you to do, it forces you to leave, to go on, to carry on. Like, I used to go back to the United States and go back to work, go back to the corporate rat race, and blah, 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 try to, like, be an American. I didn't do very good at that, just because once you start living in Mexico, and once you get this lifestyle under your blood, which for me has always involved working. I've always been working. I'm not afraid of working. I enjoy working. I enjoy doing the work I do. But going back to the American rat race, it destroyed me. Like, it flattened me. It just flattened me. And honestly, it's very lonely up there for a woman who doesn't have children, let alone a lot of family. I just found the United States of America to be very lonely. So I've always come back here. I left San Miguel during the pandemic, during the lockdown. Was it lockdown? I don't even remember at this point. It was definitely during the very strange days of COVID and pandemic and all that. And I went to Mexico City, and I've been away for 3 years. And last night I arrived back here. I took a little bus from Guanajuato, my little headsets on, listening to my favorite music, just thinking about oh my God, here I go again. Here I go, coming back to San Miguel. No regrets, no regrets. I guess I'm a little nervous just because the town gets to be very small for me. And but that was during the pandemic that I absolutely felt trapped. But who didn't feel trapped during the pandemic, right? I can't believe I came here today without my ball. I have an entire bag of pens and not one ballpoint pen. So I'm about to do some continuous line warm-ups here. Woohoo! Right here in front of the parroquia. I'm the only one at this cafe. Thank God I don't have to worry about people giving me the eye. Oh my God, there's one of those influencer type people. There's certainly people giving me the eye, but you know what? I'm sort of immune to it at this point, because honestly, who cares? Who cares if someone looks at me funny because I'm talking at full volume to my phone? No one is sitting here except my phone. So I look like one of those weirdos, because honestly, I am one of those weirdos. And I have to do my line warm-ups with my very expensive, not continuous line, what's this thing called? Uniball. There's Elaine Bowie's name. There's EB's UB. And I see Tasha's name. Hello, good morning. Let me just take one more sip of this, because this is delicious. I'm right here on the Jardín. This is my most favorite time to be in San Miguel. Not Sunday afternoon, not Saturday night, not Thursday evening, not, honestly, early morning. Well, Monday especially, because everyone is really cleared out. But early in the morning, I think it's like 8-ish or something like that. And it's empty, except for like they're sweeping up. They're pulling out tables and chairs for the crowds of people that'll be here later today. They're watering things. There's some water here in San Miguel. Not much at all, but there is some water here. And people are talking on their phone, reading. Yeah, they're reading. I don't see reading of the newspapers. Nobody does that anymore. So greetings to you from my new home. I'm still in transition. I get access to my apartment this afternoon, so I'm a little bit in limbo. And I'm going to start here with, oh my God, this Uniball is like frickin' butter. I mean, it's like turbo jet. It's so smooth. This is why I don't really do the line warm-ups with it, because it is such a smooth operator. Oh my God, Elaine Bowie, if you hear me now, I understand why you're so infatuated with this pen, because as I'm drooling all over myself now. These things happen. That's why you come to San Miguel and you drool on yourself, and then everyone just goes, oh, she's one of those gringos who's just going to sit around and drool on herself. I'm there. I'm at that stage of the game. Oh, God, I hope not. My goodness. I hope I'm not at the drooling stage, right? So, yeah, this Uniball is just making me fly across my page. But normally I wouldn't use a Uniball for my line warm-ups because it's a little pricier than a ballpoint pen. And I honestly have 12,652 ballpoint pens in my house, and I don't have one. Not my house, I'm in transit, in my suitcase. And I don't have one in my little travel bag here. That's all right. I have a million other pens, but most of them have the good ink in them, right? So I try not to use them for line warm-ups, because then that builds resentment. So, yeah, I took a little bus from Guanajuato, and it actually was the smoothest move I've ever done, where, I hadn't lived there that long, so I hadn't accumulated a lot of things. But I had my stuff picked up a few days ago, so I really just spent the past couple days cleaning it up. And then I walked out at 10 o'clock yesterday morning and went and had a coffee and got myself to the bus station, and then got here to San Miguel. And, it was a big Sunday here in San Miguel, and, it was a little too crowded for me, so I heard through the grapevine that my ex-husband was lingering, was hiding out, and I actually saw my ex-husband, who I hadn't seen in well before COVID, and he doesn't even live here. He lives in Mexico. He lives in Dolores Hidalgo, but he's just in taking care of some things. So I actually had lunch with my ex-husband, which is weird because he's a big part of my San Miguel story. I met him 1,000 years ago in the streets here in San Miguel. I was walking up Recreo. This is really funny. And it had been raining, and it stopped raining, and I was walking. It was in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was a man sitting on the side of the street on Recreo, kind of in a puddle, smoking a cigarette. And as I was walking by, I was like, what's this guy doing? And he looks at me and he goes, hello, little lady. That's what he said, and I married him. He said, hello, little lady. But he said it with such like a vivaciousness, I was like taken aback. I'm like, wow, well, hi, you weirdo. And yeah, I did marry him. Yeah, he actually stole me away to the beach. He called me like 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday and said, what are you doing? And I was like, it's Sunday morning. I was living right over here on Mesones. And he goes, well, meet me at Gato Negro, a cantina, on Sunday morning. And I was like, it's Sunday morning. And he's like, I don't care, just meet me there. I was like, weirdo. Okay. And so I went to Gato Negro. I'm assuming it's still there. I don't know. I haven't been in that neck of the woods in so long. So I swing through the doors at 9, I think it was 9:30, 10 a.m. Dark. I think it was smoky. And he's like, hello, little lady. And I was like, I grew to hate that term, little lady, because he would always be like, little women from Chicago don't know anything about meat. And I was like, well, this little woman does. Anyways, he said, he goes, I want to steal you away. And I was like, what? What? Yeah, he stole me away to his beach house over in Puerto Morelos, over there in Quintana Roo, in between Cancun and Playa. So yeah, and then we were on a plane like an hour later, and then he asked me to marry him, and we flew to Texas and got married. And it's been a long, strange road with him, but we don't live together, we're not married, but we're still in touch, right? And so I heard he was here, and he's all holed up over there in the Hotel Salto. And so I went over there and we chatted. We actually had a very nice conversation, and just getting caught up on things. And yeah, so it was really like old times here in San Miguel, like hanging out. I don't even call him my ex-husband. I was just hanging out with Reed, right? And then we've wrapped it up, and I went back to my little room, and I was asleep by 5:30 p.m. I was so exhausted. I was so exhausted from just the whole deal. So, yeah, I jumped into bed, and I was like, I'm just going to lay down for a minute because I want to come out here, because to see the church here at Magic Hour is beautiful, and I'm gonna lay down for 10 minutes and then come out and see the church. And I woke up at 1 a.m. So it was lights out, lights out, which I totally needed it. Just, I haven't been resting much, and so I needed a good night's sleep, and I got it. So now here I am in San Miguel, moving into my new apartment today. It's ready for me around 2. And so in the meantime, just to sort of ground myself, to sort of like get my wits about me, I'm here on the streets here in San Miguel, doing my continuous line warm-up to help get myself grounded, help get my feet on the ground, right? It's all felt a little heady. I got people asking me, what are you doing? Why did you move there? Why are you doing this? You should do that. Why don't you do that? I got guys from Texas going, you ought to do this with the cows, and you ought to do that with the cows, like they're my cows, right? Like it's just standard, right? Like when there's just activity in one's life, people go, why? What are you doing? Where are you going? What's happening? What's going on? And I just have not really wanted to answer any of those questions. And because I am on the move, and when I get someplace and get my wits about me, I'll be able to answer these questions. But in the meantime, I'm just going to be like, okay, my head's up in the clouds. And yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm moving back here to San Miguel. I'm excited about that. Excited to be more involved with the rancho. Excited to be more involved. Like when I left here, it was pandemic days and nobody was doing anything. I mean, we were all creeping around a little bit, sipping my coffee, right? Like the rest of the world, we're all creeping around like, is it okay? Can we do this? We're all going to die? And I'm not even saying like if your beliefs are this way or that way, right? Like during that time, I think no matter what any of our beliefs were, we were all like, oh, are we going to die? What's going on? Where are all the people? Well, it looks pretty empty right here now, but I promise you, things are starting to bustle around. People are filling up here. So, and then when I went to Mexico City, I had no sketching community because the Mexico City urban sketchers are not very welcoming to outsiders, and so I didn't feel comfortable going with them. They always had locations that were like an hour bus ride away. Anyways, it's not their deal. It's just I've never really clicked with them. And so I've just, for the past 3 years, I've been out here sketching by myself. And so to come back here to San Miguel, where I'm still admin of the Urban Sketchers, and been helping to choose some locations because it kind of the rotation of places to go was a little stale and needed some refreshing. So yeah, like next week we're going to a goat farm. If you know the goat farm here in San Miguel, Cristina Jerez, she makes all the delicious goat cheeses, and she's got vegetables and stuff like that, organic. She sells them at Luna de Queso and Mercado Sano. Anyways, we're going to the goat farm because she said, oh, come at the end of February because that's when the babies have arrived. So there's going to be lots of baby goats, right? Like, so stuff like that. It'll just be good for me to have a sketching community. Excuse me. I still like sketching by myself. I think I'm always going to love sketching by myself because I can just work at my own pace and do my own thing. And at this point, I'm pretty quick. I don't need an hour to sketch things. It's generally speaking 15 minutes. And I think that I know that's entirely because of my continuous line practice and the curriculum, right? Like in our classes, it's all 15-minute sketches. And it is incredible to see what people do in 15 minutes, right? Like I have my shtick and my style that is developed or developing, right? Like I like my style. It's something I've worked towards and I enjoy it. I make mistakes and there's still whatever. It's not whatever. It's still an artist just making her art, and some days are good and some days are not, right? But to see what the other people in the group are doing who come from their own background, whether they're still working or they're pursuing their art or it's just a hobby or they're trying to be a teacher or they're trying to make greeting cards or whatever it is, right? Or just draw pictures of their grandkids or their doggies or their kitties, whatever. Everyone kind of comes at it at their, or they find it relaxing, right? And that's what I'm trying to encourage, is that like a sketching hobby or practice. I don't even want to call it hobby because that word's sort of belittling. Oh, isn't that an adorable little hobby you have there? What are the people I used to get? Oh, you're that person who draws those adorable little pictures, right? Adorable. Yeah, that's me. That's me. I draw those adorable little pictures that I spend a good part of my waking day practicing, right? But who cares? No one needs to know that. Who cares? They don't care how much I invest in my drawing. What do I care about how they feel about it, right? Everyone's got their own shtick, right? Nobody needs to care or even get excited about the fact that I draw, right? So what is my thing? Oh yeah, so I encourage the drawing practice as a way to ground oneself and as a way to feel better about our engagement in the world. Let's be honest, this world's pretty messy these days. I mean, the whole political landscape and what's happening with women's rights, I don't care what side of the thing you're on. If you're in agreement with all the women's rights, like Mexico, third world countries have more women's rights than what the United States of America is doing, right? Taking away any sort of reproductive rights, health rights. I mean, it's just ungodly, right? No, that's not the right word, because they're doing it in the name of God, that's a whole nother can of beans, right? So anyways, you look at what's happening. I don't have any daughters, I don't have any granddaughters, but collectively we do, right? And so I worry about what is the future for the women of the world, right? Everywhere, not just the United States, everywhere, right? I don't know. I can get a little beside myself and get worried about it, right? So I have to like take myself aside a little bit, go offline, even though I'm online right now, but I have to go offline a little bit and just get sort of centered with my drawing, right? Just be like, whoom, just like, okay, yeah, I know the world is upside down right now and everything's topsy-turvy and I don't know how we're going to survive any of this. There's no water here in Mexico, right? I just got back from Oaxaca. It's even more precarious there. But Travel and Leisure just named them the top city in the world, right? And go there and do everything, right? Yeah, go travel, but be aware that things are precarious, right? So how do you be a conscientious traveler and go to a place that has no water, very little water, and how do you enjoy yourself? I don't know. I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. But I think the world we're living in now takes, the consideration has to be at a different level than what it has been in the past, right? The American model, consumerism model of like, just get out there and do the thing. Go make money, go shopping, go eating, go shopping, go shopping, go shopping, go shop, go traveling, spend your money, make money, the whole deal, right? It's that model is really, I mean, is there an more outdated model? Sure. Sure there is, right? But, it's just these past few years have shown us that, things are different now. We can't just be willy-nilly about travel and our engagement in the world, right? I'm here in Mexico. Yeah, it looks all hunky-dory, the Gringolandia, right? Like everything looks good and there's beautiful pastries in the window, beautiful lattes, and yeah, let's enjoy it. But we also have to be aware. We have to be aware of our consumption and our impact, right? All these big heady issues that like when you're maybe in the quiet of the night, I'll speak for myself, I wake up and I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do about all this? What the hell am I supposed to do about all these problems? I don't know, but first and foremost, I'm going to calm myself down. Well, Meagan, how are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to get a good night's sleep, and then I'm going to do some exercising, and then I'm going to do some drawing. In a perfect world, right? This is what I'm going to do every single day to help calm myself, right? Because no matter what's going on in the world, right? And it's going to get more chaotic. What's going on in the world, if you are a calm presence, if your thoughts are quiet, if you've helped alleviate the chaos in your mind, we will make better decisions, right? Because we all know decisions made in the heat of the moment, in the heat of the chaos, in the heat of the anger, in the heat of the sadness, in the heat of the chaos, right? It happens to encourage more chaos, right? So we have to do, you, me, collectively, all of us have to do whatever we can do to help calm. And in my case, I find that drawing, bike riding and drawing. I'm going to get an e-bike here. I've already been shopping for it. I've got it all picked out because I have to go biking. I have to go. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking a bus to Mexico City every other day. So I'm going to be doing my e-biking here in San Miguel, right? Because that helps me feel better when I get the hair going through my wind. It always feels good to get the hair going through your wind, right? And then drawing, right? Like I'm so excited about, I've drawn everything in this town, and so but still that thing needs to be drawn more because you can always evolve that thing, right? But I'm better at drawing people, and I'm just a better drawer than when I left 3 years ago, right? I'm a better drawer or illustrator, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. I ran into a musician last night who was going into, he shall remain unnamed, but he asked me if I would like to draw him performing. And, he's one of the more well-known celebrities here in San Miguel, and I was like, yeah, I'll draw you. Yeah, it's my commodity, right? It's my commodity. And it's something that I can use in the world to feel better and help other people feel good, right? Because for the most part, most people love to be drawn to a certain degree, right? Like if you make them look too fat or too old or too ugly, then it's like, oh God, do I look like that? So you got to I practice with myself, take off a little weight, get a little thinner, a little smaller, a little younger, my hair. I haven't had my hair cut in 2 years. I've got a hair appointment this week, right? So I'm going to clean up this mop a little bit. I'm still in my long-haired witchy phase. I'm going to have a long white braid as I'm doing my shamanistic exercises here in the Jardín each morning. What? No, I'm not. I'm not a shaman yet. But yeah, I am definitely in my long-haired witchy phase. I'm going to have a long white braid one of these. I could probably almost braid it now, but now it's too dry and hay-like. So I've got, I'm in San Miguel. I have to clean up my act a little bit. I can't be just look like I rolled out of bed. Like you can get away with that in Mexico City, and you can get away with that in Guanajuato. And if I want to get away with that here in San Miguel, I will, but I do think it's time to clean things up a little bit. Tidy up the appearance a little bit, because I want to take my image up a notch, and I want to be invited to participate in things. I want to donate my art to good causes, animals and whatnot, children, people who need to eat, water, those sorts of things. And, of course, the cows, right? That's my gig. So I want to look presentable for these things. I'm in San Miguel now. I got to take it up a notch. Muy buenos dias, everyone. Muy buenos dias. Okay, so I'm going to finish big with a heart. I'm in the middle of a move. Moves are always emotional, right? There's always everything. Like when I was walking through the streets yesterday, I realized I didn't have keys in my pocket because I don't have any keys right now. And so it was just little things like that. I'm like, I don't have any keys right now. And I don't know, it's not the end of the world, but it was just something I noticed. I don't have any keys right now. I will later today, but it's just things like that, right? And then like, just like everything that's had its place, right? When you live someplace, everything has its place, and right now, nothing has a place. Like when I was looking for my pajamas in my suitcase last night, I came across my favorite spatula, and I was like, oh, good, I have my favorite spatula here with my pajamas, because I didn't want to forget my favorite spatula. And I even have one of my copper fry pans in my suitcase because I forgot to pack it. So I've got my copper fry pan, I got a spatula, my pajamas, my toothpaste, my hair, because nothing has a place just yet. It will soon, right? But in the meantime, I didn't know, I had my spatula in my bed with me. No, I didn't. And you know what? I mean, I'm at a place, I have moved a lot in my life. I've moved a lot, and it doesn't freak me out like it used to. And I honestly kind of enjoy being in transition, right? It's not chaotic because everything is pretty well planned out, but it's just, I sort of enjoy like that moment of realizing, oh, I don't have a key right now. It's a little bit of a freedom to that. I don't have a key right now, and my toothbrush doesn't have a place right now, nor does my spatula, which is why my spatula is next to my toothbrush. But that's okay, right? Because I feel like that sort of mixing it up helps us to not get too stuck in our thoughts and patterns, right? I think that's a lot of what's happening. I'll just say, like in the United States with that whole MAGA moron movement, like these people are so afraid to change. They're so afraid of change. They're so afraid of someone else having the ability to live and love and make choices that they're like damning anyone from doing it. And it really comes from a place of just being so terrified of change, of a black man being president, of a black woman being president, of a woman being president. They're so terrified of this that they'll just deny life to anyone that they can, right? So it's a fear thing. So in my moment of finishing big with the heart, right? To go easy on myself and go easy on others. Do I have the ability, do I have the grace to go easy on MAGA? That's asking a lot, because they don't even ask, they just take, right? They just take. And can I have grace for their inability to love and forgive and accept and change? Can I have grace for their inability to love? Can I have grace for MAGA's inability to love? I don't know, but you know what? I'm going to think about that a little bit, because I can get very angry about what's happening in the United States, right? I can get very angry about it, the politicians and even just what they say, right? They're so, like, we're hearing about their sex lives, we're hearing about their sexual opinions. I don't want to hear this from these monsters, right? What is this world now, right? Like, it's so different than just the whole deal, and that's a MAGA thing, right? Like, everything is so different, I just want it to go back, and I get it. I have those same fears too. Who doesn't? Life is so different now, right? The world is so different, right? So how do I have grace for others? How do I have grace for the ones I can't stand? How do I have grace for, like, Trump? I want him in prison and with no microphone ever again for the rest of his life, right? I want worse, but I'm not even going to say it because that's like bad form. Anyways, how do I have grace for others, right? Well, I just have to focus on love. First of all, I have to do my lines. I have to do my lines so that I'm not in the anger. I'm not in the chaos of it, right? I have to find practices in this world that help me to go, vroom, help me to calm down. And for me, it's drawing. That guy just gave me a funny look. He gave me one of those, there's that one of those people who like talks to their phone like their phone is somebody. I am one of those people. I am. So can I have grace for someone who looks at me like I'm an idiot when I'm looking at him like he's an idiot? Can I have grace for him? Sure I can, because he has a really cute dog, so I'm going to have grace for his dog. All right, everyone. Happy Monday morning. Go easy on yourself. Go easy on others. Have a little grace, right? I'm going to have grace for myself that I sometimes can't have grace for the people who anger me. And I feel like that has been my personal mission, right? Like, yes, I've always had goals and things throughout my life that I work for, but I feel like now, as I'm getting older and I'm heading towards 60, and I'm at that philanthropic stage of my life, and I just totally butchered that word, where I want to think more about my legacy, right? And I don't have a big legacy to give physically, but I think I do, like, spiritually. And I'm not talking like religious spiritually, I'm talking about like of sound mind, right? And grace. How can I have, I'm back here in San Miguel, where I have historically called this city a snake pit, just because I think there's some very mean women here, right? Well, why do I think that? Well, I've had some things happen. Well, why have you had some things happen? Well, maybe I was mean, right? Maybe I was mean to someone, and then it just escalated, right? So I was reminded the other day that I called San Miguel a snake pit. And it's true. There's a lot of women here. There's a lot of powerful, creative, strong-willed women here, which is probably why I keep coming back here, right? And so I have had some exchanges with some people years ago. I don't even remember things at this point, except I know that coming back here, I was kind of like, oh, God, am I ready? Am I strong enough for the snake pit? Oh, there's that cute dog. That's what I need to get, is a cute dog. Anyways, so can I have grace, the grace to forgive myself for maybe what I have done, if I can remember? Can I remember? Yeah, I think I can remember. And then can I have grace for others who were in an act of wanting to protect themselves? They pushed me away, right? That's usually how that happens, right? It's usually in an act of wanting to protect oneself. We push others away. And I think I've done that throughout my entire life. It's just easier to push people away than, not always, but it's sometimes easier to push people away and just move on to the next thing instead of like sorting some things out. And by moving to like Mexico City and just keep moving, keep focusing on my business, I maybe didn't have to worry about some personal relationships, because honestly I haven't had much in the past few years. I've been quietly drawing on my own. So anyways, it's a new era. I'm back in San Miguel, beautiful San Miguel with La Parroquia aquí, Monday morning. I'm going to go do my Zoom class at the thing, and then I'm moving into my new apartment. So looking forward to continuing to see everyone's drawings, to continue to see the love in your lines and the energy in your lines. Great to see you all. I'll be at the Urban Sketchers thing on tomorrow. And stay safe out there, everyone. Peace. Bye.